Hi guys, and welcome to All About the Philippines. What people say in conversation or in social media posts and YouTube posts will allow you to tell a lot about the person making the comment. Some people have very limited thought patterns or reasoning, it would seem, or perhaps they're just plain nasty people who enjoy trolling or putting people down. But whatever the reason, we do commonly see lies spread over social media and particularly here on YouTube about Filipinas. And today I'm looking at 5 common lies about Filipinas. Finding the right Filipina can take you to a place that you've never experienced before in any relationship, but finding the right Filipina for you isn't always easy. Now, to find your Filipina, why not do what's been successful for many others in our YouTube community and check out Philippines' #1 online dating site. It's free to create an account and view thousands of beautiful Filipina profiles. So for those guys that are looking for a Filipina and may decide to go along the lines of online dating, then you've really got nothing to lose here. So you can check the link in the description below. And if you're enjoying our channel, then please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get more videos. It's my view that Filipinos get a pretty bad rap by many people, and the things some people may say are really very unfair. But that's life, and it'll always happen, as it seems to be in the human nature. And really the same thing can be said about many countries around the world, but maybe just about different things. And I believe the reason people believe so much in what they see on TV or on social media, that they stop thinking for themselves and they just accept what they see as truth or commonality. And I'll give you an example so you know what I'm talking about here. Now, where I live in Australia, I'll see on the news maybe 20 or 30 times a year of mass shootings in America. Now, from that, some people will say that all Americans are gun-toting mass murderers, and of course that's simply not true. Most Americans, of course, are very decent people. Now we look at the Philippines, and in particular the subject of this video around Filipinas and the lies that are commonly spread about them. Now just note that the list I've got here of the 5 common lies are not in any particular order. So the first common lie that some people do spread is that they say all Filipinas are gold diggers. Now we've all heard that, I'm sure. And for me, the first time I heard this was many years ago when a Filipina by the name of Rose married an Australian mining magnate by the name of Lang Hancock. Now at that time he was one of the wealthiest men in Australia, and he was a much older man than the Filipina. And as time went on, it was clear that she was a gold digger, and it was a fair call for sure. But as a result of the constant media attention for many years, people in Australia thought that all Filipinas are gold diggers. And in fairness, who knows, maybe it gave other Filipinas living in the Philippines the idea of marrying for money and sacrificing love. And no doubt, with the Philippines being a developing country, and some may even say a third world country, that some Filipinos may do this sort of thing to try and escape poverty. But for these people to make the statement that all Filipinas are gold diggers is simply unfounded. It's shallow-minded and completely untrue. And look, I'm living proof of this. Here I am, an average man in Australia with an average job and little money, and I fell in love and married a Filipina who had a good job in the Philippines. And she came to live with me in Australia around 6 years ago and has never asked for anything and gives me all the care and love in the world like I've never experienced before. So rest assured to those skeptics who have no sense of reality or able to think things through, real love can certainly be found in the Philippines, and not all Filipinas are out there digging for gold. So the second common lie that is commonly spread about Filipinas is that all Filipinas are scammers. And again, we're dealing with a country with a fair bit of poverty, and in any country where there's poverty, people are going to be looking for ways to survive, which to me at least is a very rational and natural thing to do. We all have what we call a built-in survival mechanism, which will kick in when we are faced with a choice to either eat or starve. And of course, for most of us who live in a developed country, this is a very hard thing to understand. We've all seen many stories right here on YouTube, and I've put these sorts of stories on my YouTube channel as well, of many foreign men who have been scammed by a Filipina, which are mostly love scams where the Filipina will convince the man she's in love with him, so he sends money to her on a regular basis, and he might also send her gifts, and in some cases even buy her some land and a house. Now, some people from those stories that they've seen on YouTube maybe 20 times a year, that they'll deduce from that that all Filipinos are scammers. But what they don't hear so much about is all the successful relationships out there. And let's face it, those good stories are out there, but they're just not as interesting. So people tend to bypass those good stories and they'll gravitate towards the drama of the love scams. And yes, we've got to be real here and note that there are plenty of Filipinas who are looking for a way to survive and improve their life, that their values have just been wiped out. But it's also my belief, as I said previously, that there are many more who are good, honest and decent Filipinas who live well and work exceptionally hard for little money. And again, I'll say, for the people to spread the lies that all Filipinas are scammers is completely unfair to many decent Filipinas, and one would be more accurate to say some Filipinas instead of all Filipinas are scammers. The third common lie about Filipinas is they want to give all your money to their family. Now, I'll be the first to say that it is true that many Filipinas would like to give a certain amount of money to help their family. In fact, many Filipinas, when living in the Philippines and maybe single, will still help their family. This is part of their culture and something they are very happy and proud to do. And we see this all the time also with overseas Filipino workers who will go to work in a foreign country, sometimes for years, in order to send money back home to their family. They'll forego being with their children, their husband and their family in order to help their family live a better life in the Philippines. And then you have the Filipinas who may marry a foreign man and go to his country to live and work and create a better life for herself and her husband. Many of these Filipinas may also like to send money home each month, maybe to elderly parents or help with tuition fees for siblings. And again, this is her culture and within her nature as a Filipina. But does she want to give all your money to her family? And let's face it, maybe there are some that do want to give all your money to her family, but the majority don't. Many will just send a modest amount to meet some of the needs back home and maybe even help in times of emergencies. Now, this is where it's important for the husband and the Filipina wife to sit down together and make this decision together on how much they'll send home each month, so both are happy with that decision. And yes, for sure, there are some Filipinas who may not wish to send money home as well. So not every single Filipina will want to send money home. And it's my strong belief that most Filipinas don't want to send all your money to a family, and they'll work extra hard just to send $200 or $300 home every month. And I'll say to any man who can't accept that, then he shouldn't be looking for a Filipina. As I said earlier, it is part of a culture. It helps her feel good about herself, and to do that makes her feel very, very proud. The fourth common lie about Filipinas is when they say she will use you to trade up. Some people will say Filipinas only want to use you to escape poverty and increase their status and move to your country, where after she gains citizenship she'll leave you and trade up to a new guy who could offer her more in the way of money and also maybe perhaps in looks. And gee, that is a pretty harsh one, but I don't say it doesn't happen. But I will say it's certainly not the majority of Filipinos. In fact, right here in my local community in Australia, I know of many good Filipinos who have been in loving and caring relationships for more than 30 years. But again, the problem is when people see this happen or they hear on the grapevine of this happening, they tend to think all Filipinos who come from a developing country only marry a foreign man as a step up in the world. I say, is it not possible for two people from different countries to fall in love and want to spend their lives together? So let me know what you think about that question in the comments below. And be sure to be civil, as we have a zero tolerance for any type of abuse or attacks in our community. And the fifth and last common lie about Filipinas is when these people say never give a Filipina an iPhone or jewelry. And I've had that comment on one of my videos in very recent times, and this person said that exact same thing. And I've heard it said many times before as well, and it sort of amuses me. But again, a very generalized comment. These people think these things because simply the Filipina lives in the Philippines, and simply based on that, they believe she won't value the items and she'll just see them as a way of getting more money by selling them. And again, these guys have been watching social media, probably watching the Raffy Tulfo Live in Action YouTube channel, and again they'll believe that Filipinas are all the same and they're all going to go out and sell their jewelry or iPhone if you give it to them. But what these people don't realise is that the guys who have bought these items for the girl and she's sold them haven't taken the time to get to know the Filipina. They've most likely rushed in without knowing who she is or anything about her, and they get played. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's on the guy for being so naive. I mean, why would someone give such items so early in a relationship anyway? I mean, I never got any of those sort of items from my wife until we married and I knew her very, very well. And remember this, guys, that Filipinos may live in the Philippines, which, yes, is a developing country and life can get pretty tough there, but many of these girls are also very proud people with good work ethic and morals. And if one just slows down a little bit to take their time to find a good, honest Filipina, then all these 5 lies about Filipinas will not be a problem for you. So if you're looking to date a Filipina or currently dating a Filipina, why not check out my free 14-part Dating a Filipina course. We cover everything from pre-dating to dating and marriage, and look at various scams and red flags to watch out for and much more. Check out the link in the description box below. And if you've enjoyed the video, then give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to leave your comments below, but please remain respectful to the community. Share the video with all your networks and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell to get more videos. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I appreciate all your support. Take care and bye for now.